Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, playing the career mode here, and it's episode 20 in the series. We head into a sponsor objective, top 3. I believe that top 3 is overall, which will not be done easily. Sprint stages will do just fine on, but that's not all that we're going to see here in this 4-stage race in the Circuit d'Ardennes International. I have noticed that Jonathan Brown was among those who have been injured at some point on the season. Broke his hand in training. I've had a few stages of races off camera from where we left off, and actually won most of those. I had a 2-stage race. I won one of the stages and won the overall by taking third on the other stage with the same guy. I think it was Villevol. And then won another race, so we've had some success. That latest win was actually pretty crazy. We should have sun along the whole length of the route. That race had a major crash on the biggest climb of the day, and that did me in where more than half my team was left behind and never got back to the front. And so I only had 3 guys and actually still managed to win the sprint despite not having... in fact, Villevol was one of those who was left behind, so my top sprinters were not at the front, but Veldeman got the win on that one. The one sprinter who was left, along with a couple of the guys from last year's team.
Several riders are attempting to break away.
Okay, that's everybody. Alright, well, you can see here for stage number 1 in this, that category 2 climb is going to be pretty punchy, and depending on the pace, that could leave a number of riders behind. So we'll check back in around that final sprint point. Back, we're just coming up on that category 2 climb. It's pretty steep, but it's quite short, so the pace is not too bad right now, so I think we will be just fine. See the condition of the team. Harris has used up a bit of energy, and this is a longer stage, but outside of Harris and maybe Wachtendorf, who's down on stamina a little bit, we are looking pretty good. And here we come to the base of the climb. We're already in that prime spot. There's a breakaway group of 3 riders left, still off the front. And yes, it looks like we'll be just fine on this climb. There probably will be an attack at the top, as there's only 3 riders in the break, so there will be points beyond what you get from those 3 riders. Make sure I'm not dropping back too much here. Now would be a good time to also check in on something as Gouillard makes his way up the climb. He has leveled up. Gouillard is an amazing young talent, and Gouillard has leveled up. His sprint is now a 77. The acceleration still only a 69, but that has come up a bit from where it was as well. And almost now, with a sprint of 77, he is just about to that point where we could start to use him as a sprinter and expect him to outclass everyone. It's just the acceleration piece that's still quite low, and really his other attributes are still quite low as well. Outside of that sprint, there's nothing else He's got his 62 in stamina resistance. His downhill's low, so that's the one thing to watch out for with him still. These guys are making their way back up. We got 40K to go. I'm going to speed things up. 2 minutes to the breakaway group, and that distance should close down, and yes, it's down to a minute now. North, why are you getting left behind here? Get through this, why don't you? Get up there where you need to be. $33K. I can get it, Ken. You too. I got an 80 now. We're a little bit off the pace here. Bachmendorf, see, you just got dropped from shielding Velvol. What's going on there? Pace is definitely up. That was the closest thing to a climb the rest of the way. Though, no, wait. That's punchier than I thought it was. That little bump. It's a bit of a hill. Harris is nearly done, so I think I'm going to wait until about 19K to set up my train and get them moving. 21 now. 20.
A rider is taking his chance alone.
Alright, there we go. We got one man trying to break away while we're about to catch the breakaway group. And we are looking very strong for this stage, but it's the overall that I'm in need of, so I definitely will look to do some damage with these guys and get us set up for some success. Let's go with Van Ginniken and Bull and Gouillard. Veldeman, see, this is a strong group, and even these guys were my best sprinters of yesteryear. And we'll get Harris to start pushing. Alright, let's go and use his gel.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking.
And other than Wachtendorf and Vilvol, we lined up quite quickly already.
For some riders who are looking to create a breakaway.
Okay, here's that little bit of a punchy climb. We'll drop to a 92.
The group has been overhauled.
Got a 93. Wachtendorf, it'll be your turn next. Harris isn't going to have enough for a second run here. Ah, we got a breakaway. We've got a breakaway. We've got a breakaway over the top. So we're going to go 97. Ah, they're back on for now. That doesn't mean they're really latched on. Yeah, see, there you go. There's a split. See if you can grab onto the back of Gouillard, possibly.
The pace has slowed somewhat. It's perhaps due to fatigue, but I'd bet on some sort of tactical choice. Only 10 kilometers left.
Nope, you're gone. Feldman's not going to be able to grab back on, is he?
Everybody seems to agree that the stage will be won in a sprint.
Around the corner there, 7K to go. Wachtendorf recovered enough. Veldeman is back up there now. .5 kilometers to the finish line. Bull sprinting. He's going to pull Van Ginniken in now.
He's giving it one last go.
Vilvol is toast before the sprint here, but what can be done? These guys who waited, I've gone way too early, way too early. Vilvol lost too much with the guys ahead of him sprinting. I went too early. That's my bad. It's not even that small of a group, so no damage done, and I'm not in the best position. 8th, 12th. Oh, that's not good for top 3 hopes. That was my best chance to get somewhere. I ran out of energy too early. My sprint with Van Ginniken forced Vilvol. Vilvol's energy went kind of right with him. He wasn't protected at all. He had, 15% left, maybe?
Now for the best moments of the day.
Well, I blew that sprint. Time bonus is there. Split after 48 riders. Okay, let's see what we get from the other stages here. So, stage 2, those are category 1s. It says it's for the hills. It says those are all category 1s, which is insane because those are not mountains. But that doesn't mean it's not going to do some damage. Wow, look at that. Cofidus had the top 5 overall last season. Is that team time trial? I think that's why. Team time trial on stage 3, and I'm not a time trialist. These are others are sprints, but that time trial is going to be dangerous. This could really hurt us on the sponsor confidence, at least in the short term. It's only 2-star requirement, but we could be, nowhere near the top 3. Alright, well, this looks a little steeper than I expected. Wow. Bargy is here. What the heck are you writing for? Veldeman is in the favorites, so... and on a fitness peak. So we could be trying to ride for Veldeman today. Alright, so I am back, and I put Harris into the breakaway group, something I never do. But I was looking at this opportunity. We're in a sponsor objective, and we need to do all we can to please the sponsor besides the objective itself. And all these Category 1 climbs is absolutely ridiculous when they're not real climbs. But I think the Mountain Climbers jersey is absolutely going to be won today. And Harris, wow, just no acceleration whatsoever. Dang. Harris, you're still not moving. There you go. Finally up and out of the saddle. Way behind already. We were nowhere near the top, so he got outraced badly there. Well, anyway, Harris, a bit behind in that game.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Yeah, I got guys going red. There we go. Alright, well, we've got this whole series of climbs. We did not get the points the first time, but we'll see what we can do this time.
A rider has just suffered a puncture.
water before we forget and it's too late. Alright, Harris. Try to time this one a little bit better now. It's still 2.5K to the top. Already, here comes the attack again. 2K out. He cannot go with that. These guys like all Superman? We'll have to see this time. I've never really looked at the group. But yeah, look at Harris. This is all he's got. He is redlining right there. Over the top, and now he's going to have a hard time even getting back on to these guys. Now he's only a 58 on hills, so he is quite weak. So yeah, 63, 68 for Flores, a 70. Yeah, okay, he is outmatched badly. I'm wondering if I'm going to let the group go, and we'll latch back on. He is not going to beat these guys at all. So I'm going to sit up and rejoin the peloton. Uh-oh. Come on, guys, really? You were that slow. So I've got some work to do to get these guys back on. Just fell right out the back. And that's one reason why I don't do that. You get distracted and all of a sudden guys fall off the back. And you don't have climbers on your team.
A rider is down, and he's not going to be able to carry on. Let's hope it doesn't jeopardize the rest of his season. There's a collective fall with several riders on the ground. We can only hope that they all get back up.
We're back at a pivotal stage here. You just saw that crash with the guys in the back, so their hopes of getting back onto the group are fading very quickly. At least they're okay. Harris went all the way back to join them. Wachtendorf and Vilvol, though, now another almost 2 minutes behind from where they were, so they're just too far back. So here is our group with the hopes that remain, and this is the most serious climb of the day right now that we are on. And then we've got just a few little punchy climbs to the finish. But, oops. Let's see, Van Ginneken struggling a little bit. Gouillard is about to go out the back. Ultimate on his own now. He's my best climber, so he's doing okay. One rider left off the front, 50 seconds ahead.
One of the back markers has given up.
Gouillard is not going to make it back on, I don't think. Could. Downhill coming up here. Yeah, these guys are all split now. I'm just going to go ahead and set them to auto. Too late for them. Maybe not for Gouillard. We'll put him on auto. Maybe he can get back on board. Think we're going to be okay on water, but maybe not. So why don't we go ahead and grab water at least. And there we go. There's Gouillard. We got Gouillard back. So, Gouillard needs to go and protect Veldeman. And we're back to 4 riders. Meanwhile, these guys, yeah, they're long gone. 6 minutes back. So Vilvol did make up some ground, but that extra crash was too much.
There's a rider trying to break away from the bunch.
We are not really recovering, so he's going to get lost here on this climb, but at least Veldeman's getting a quick little bit of protection, and there's our finish line too. Breakaway group caught. Bad timing though, because that means here comes the attacks. Gouillard is dropped again. And he's not going to get back on this time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put Bowl on Veldeman now. Veldeman's our best hope for getting over these final two climbs. And then Van Ginniken, if he can, will go with him. All three of these guys are decent sprinters, so that part's good. Almost to the climb again. Okay, here we go, coming up on the base. Also the finish line. '94. And we're hanging in there this time. I don't think you're gonna win on this climb. There's too much time after. But you certainly could lose. And I think what we're going to do now, before this final climb for these three guys, go 99, Veldeman, you're going to follow Van Ginniken. Van Ginniken, you're going to follow Bowl. And then Bowl is going to try to lead us over the climb next time. And depending on pace, we might have to try to attack, or just he's going to give everything he has to try to hold position. So here we go towards the climb now. I want to attack after. Oops, pause.
That looks like a really bad fall. It's a shame, but he's not going any further. Several riders are on the ground, but it doesn't look too serious.
Oop, Wachtendorf has fallen again. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay, that's first over the top. Oop, that guy just sat up. His day is done. 6K to go.
To the finish line.
Keep it on a 92. Bowl he's done. 3K to go. Okay, now we can go to a 99. Lead him out, come on. Give him a good run in, Veldeman, can we get the win here? Can we get the win? Around the corner, and now the sprint. Veldeman, where's your sprint, Veldeman? Where's your sprint, Veldeman? Ah, no.
Superb sprint victory.
Not even a top 3, so no time bonuses. Veldeman's 7th. Barguil just ahead of him. Wow, 0 sprint from Veldeman on that one. Hit 71 and 70. That's.
This stage was a real strength sapper.
Could have used Gouillard on that. But small group finish. So that's going to shake up the overall a bit, as there are definitely going to be fewer riders now left in those standings, and there's no guarantee that all 22 of those were in that top 40 or so from the last stage. But next up is the team time trial, and that could be ugly for us because I don't have strength there. On to the team time trial. It's nearly our turn. Here goes Barguil and his team. Here's Cofidis. I think it's supposed to be flat out, but team time trials have been really hard for me on this game. Judging. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're going to pause. I'm going to set everyone now to a 99. And then I'm going to have to pick out which guys to go for on timing-wise. And why don't I start at the front as soon as we come off the line. So Veldeman is in 10th overall. So he's one of those ones where I don't want him to be on the front for very long. So we're going to go just 5 seconds on the front. Okay. And yeah, okay, so we're definitely looking at a 99 all the way. Now, Gouillard is 617 down, so he can stay on the front for a little while. Vilvol can stay on the front. Ginnikin is in that 20 seconds realm, so we'll cut him down to 5 seconds. There we go. Bowl, same. These guys are my contenders. Harris, can use him up. And Wachtendorf. Now that leaves me 3 guys, and then I'm going to need at least 2 others to finish with them. So of these guys, who's going to survive the best? Vilvol is an okay time trialist. And Wachtendorf is in good condition, so I'm going to cut them down to 7. I'm going to bump these guys up to 12. And there we go. We'll try that for a little bit and see how we're doing. I think we should be able to just about make it like this on a 99. Yeah, Gouillard, Vilvol, the only ones in the negative. Vilvol still recovering from his turn on the front. Now he's back into the positive. And Gouillard's almost recovered. So that seems to be a pretty good balance that I've got set here right now. We'll see, going flat out. Yeah, Veldeman's still in good shape after. Gouillard's gonna be hurting here. So Vol hanging on. How are we looking on this sprint? Third, just 9 seconds off the pace. That's good. That is very good. Cofidis is just 2 seconds ahead of us. Delco Marseille currently on top. Harris isn't going to last much longer, neither is Gouillard, but that was expected. Those are the 2 guys that I don't mind if I end up dropping them. There goes Gouillard on front. This is probably going to do it for him. He'll be done here in a second. There we go. He's going to peel off, and he's going to drop out of the group. So that leaves me with 6 guys. Vilvol. Vilvol, where are you? Vilvol, you're done. Here we go. Finish line, finish line, finish line. Get in there. 31 seconds down. Dang it. Drop a little bit further back. Fortuneo Samsic, and that's Barghi's team. That's going to put us well down in the overall top 10. I don't know. There's Gouillard coming in. Adria Mobile. Vital Concept. they go 7th, and that's it. That's the end. So 4th as a team, which is actually right where we were predicted to be, was 4th. So in that sense, that was not bad for a team time trial. But that's going to really, really limit my chances depending on how many riders of those 3 teams were still in that top tier. And there's 5. And, oh man, not good. Not good. Look at that. 5 guys right there. There's 5 guys. There's 3 guys. So that makes me 14, 15, and 16 with my 3 guys, 51 seconds behind. Even if we win the next stage and pick up the 10-second bonus, we are in bad shape for this. At least I'm not outside of the top 25, which I very much feared could happen. Having 5 guys in the top tier of both of these 2 teams is what's really hurting on that one. Which, by the way, the last stage, and we kind of got screwed on this one. The last stage, I had the 3 guys in the first group of 22 riders. There was another group of 21 riders behind, and there was a gap, and there had been a gap, and there was a gap for many, many, many kilometers. But you know how it is there at the finish line. They really like to throw your hard work under the bus, have it get all smashed up, and that's what happened to us. They combined the 2 groups on time at the end and gave 40 riders the same time. So there were still 34 riders left after those first 2 stages that were in that top group, split apart by 20 seconds or so based on the sprints. So now heading into the final stage, we have it all to do just to get into the top 10 and limit the damage, but this is going to hurt the fact that we are not in the top 3. And that is, even though it's only a category 3, that's a steeper climb than we were getting on those category 1s right before the finish. And this undulates throughout the stage. So a little bit of trouble here. Looking like the first time this year that we are going to have a pretty massive fail in the sponsors department, and I have a feeling it's going to drop us off that top tier for sure. Hopefully, though, we'll still at least be in the 2nd tier.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. The profile of the route is a fairly mixed bag, so everybody should find a section to their pleasing.
Alright, well, nothing doing until the end of this stage, so I'm going to go ahead and get my guys in position, and we'll come back at the end. Final stages of the race here. Wachtendorf back to grab some water, but he's also barely hanging on right now. Guyard is about to get left behind. Harris already left behind, 7 minutes down. Peloton is down to 61 riders, and this whole group at the back looks like they're about to get dropped. Guyard is not alone in that. 1 climb left to go on the stage. Those guys are hanging on, though. The pace isn't too bad. Wachtendorf, is he going to make it back up here with that water or not? Guyard now dropped. Just a couple riders off the back at the moment. Vilvol, the only one without water. Can we get it to him? Vilvol, slow down for a second. Get that water. Get that water. There we go. Alright, he made it. Wachtendorf is going to be out of there in a second. Profile the rest of the way. Bit of climbing to do here in just a moment. That's going to do some damage. And yes, that category 3 climb is more severe than a lot of what we've had of late.
Another attack in the leading group.
A lot of damage being done on these stages. A lot of riders not making it, and then these kind of guys going for it.
The pack
Making
is
life
increasing its
difficult.
work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway. The pace seems much too high for many
So
riders.
Vol hanging on. And now I've got 4 guys left. I kind of need to decide. Oh, Bull is nearly done here. Van Ginniken looks like my sprinter of the day. These guys are on the same time. So let's go ahead and switch Veldeman to covering Van Ginniken. I'll leave Vilvol on his own. He is my top sprinter, but he's way behind on time. So the guys I need to get to the end are there. Bull recovering a little bit. Get him to cover Vilvol. I don't need all 3 of them to get to the end. 2 would be nice. 1 rider left. Breakaway group nearly caught, just 30 seconds. Peloton is down to 52 riders. And I've got 2 more here in my 5 that are amongst that are just barely hanging on.
The riders have just passed the 15 kilometers road sign. The pack is back
Dorf
on level
covering
terms
a
with
little
the
bit, but here
breakaway
comes the
group.
climb.
The peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely.
Slow down here for the climb. 1.6 to go to the top.
Acceleration by Bar Grill.
Warren Barguil going for it. Saicedo going for it. And I've got to do something. I've got to respond here. Veldeman.
There are just 10 kilometers left.
Alright, Peloton, 21 riders. And for now, these guys are hanging on. So go 92, make sure you're still there. Vilvol. Alright, so I've got all 3 of these guys. Bull, Wachtendorf left behind, but Peloton just 3 riders. Now let's go ahead and form a train. Vilvol's the best sprinter, so we'll get him at the back, following Van Ginniken, following Veldeman. And you're going to go ahead and use your gel now. Veldeman's already near the front, so we'll just go 92 for the moment. There's Van Ginniken. 96. Vilvol still not there.
There are just 5
Ease off a
kilometers
little
left.
bit. Okay, Van Ginniken, use your gel.
Falling behind. A team leader is
3K.
falling behind.
Finally, we've got Veldeman. Ooh, I've got a break, but there is still Barguil ahead. And Van Ginniken, sprint. Vilvol, sprint. Come on, come on, come on. Get in there, get in there. Alright, we got a stage win. We got a stage win.
The strongest at the last.
And we've got a small group at the end. That will shake some of those riders. Hopefully we can get into the top 10 overall at least. It would have been nice if I could have gotten that win for the likes of Van Ginniken, who took 7th, or Veldeman or Bull. But there's definitely going to be time gaps this time. So let's see what those final results are. We'll speed it up to that point. And then we'll see how bad that damage is on the sponsor confidence after not claiming the top 3. It would be nice though if by top 3 they meant on a stage. Pretty sure they meant overall.
And just in case you missed them, here are the race highlights.
There we are, over the top, just hanging on by a wheel. All right, so here is the overall. Delco, Marseille still have 4 riders left. Fortuneo, Samsic have 3 riders left. Cofidis have 2 riders left. And Van Ginneken does squeeze his way into the top 10. And Veldeman also with him there. Even though Veldeman was apparently dropped. And there you go with that same time thing. 23 riders on the same time, but really it was only 18. Veldeman got dropped. He shouldn't have the same time. And neither should these other guys. Saicedo was dropped. Gouye here was like the best one left. He was at the back of what was left of that peloton. But anyway, so 10th and 11th. Not good, but I did get into the top 10 at least, and that's going to help a bit. That should limit the damage somewhat. Third as a team. Still not bad considering that was some Continental Pro stuff. Sponsor confidence at the moment actually looking pretty high. But let's go ahead and go forward a day and see what happens here. I've got a couple training notices here that, as well that I'm going to need to check out. I've had to adjust training quite a bit, but a lot of the guys do not want to train with my lesser quality trainer, and that's really starting to hurt. Okay, there you go. Sponsor confidence does take a dive, but not a total nosedive, and we're actually still inside that higher level of confidence for now. So Vilvol, there you go. See, this is the guy. John McAllister just cannot. Oh, and here you go. See, Griffin doesn't want to work with McAllister either. Wachtendorf hits his fitness peak. Vilvols is done. There's Perry Roubaix. Christoph. Wow, Christoph strong enough to stay alive on the cobbles. Van Aert, no surprise. Terpstra, yeah. Van Avermaet all the way down at 7th is almost a surprise that he's not, higher. But crazy stuff happens. Decent payday there. And yeah, there you go. So negative, but only a slight negative. It's not a red. And that helps a lot. The stage win, that's going to help as well. Alright, well, let's glance where we're at. Tom Dumoulin on top right now above Chris Froome in the World Tour. Got no one anywhere near the top, by the way. But I do have Billy Vilvol 5th with 6 race victories on the season now. Veldeman has 4 of his own. It's Quick Step by a small margin over Team Sky. Sunweb and Bora Hansgrohe not that far. It's pretty tight at the moment. The World Tour rankings. Wow, we are 4th in Continental. But in the Super Prestige, we're always behind 30th. So much better than a year ago. 302 points for the game of Decathlon. That's 30 already. It's April 9th, and I had like 430 for all of last season. So we've already hit that point where we're nearly there. We are approaching Delco Marseille after winning that race with the team time trial jump to 29th just ahead of us. But we are looking good in that department as EF Education First. The last of the World Tour teams other than Cofidis, who's up there amongst them. And you can see a pretty sizable gap from there. But we're well on our way to being competitive. I mean, we're one good race away from about 23rd. And in terms of victories, 16 now on the year. So I keep rattling off those victories, but a lot of them are in a limited number of points, so you get what you get. But definitely not complaining over 300 points. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.